What's up, YouTube? What's happening? This video gonna be about Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Allegedly, their friendship ended about 20 plus years ago, and John Sally was talking about it. What do I think? Um, you know, Jordan is a pretty hard dude to kind of kick it with. I mean, there are different dynamics at work. There's a lot of different things that uh, they work together, they won titles together, but I'm sure there was a lot of tension. I'm sure there was animosity. Scottie Pippen was never as great as Michael Jordan as a player. But if you a sidekick and you play with somebody, you can respect them. But you see, the tension is real, the ego is real, and the sentiments and everything that goes along with everything is real. It's a shame that it played itself out and has been as it is. Jordan takes the high road where he doesn't air out per se, but it had to be tough to play alongside of someone like that. As great as he was, is as cold as he was, and indifferent as he was. And maybe he didn't feel like, beyond work, it's different situations. They gift each other things and what have you, but business is business. I can imagine Scotty had to feel some kind of way because he had to play alongside a guy who was held in such high regards that you never would be. So it has to do a number on your head. It's just like if you happen to be related to a famous artist, like you think about Jermaine Jackson to Michael, has to mess with his head because you're going to be envious. You're going to be shallow. You're going to, look at things and kind of go, man, this guy got this out, and there are people, everybody has something special that they do. But the thing about them winning their back, they three-peated and they won 6 rings and, with everything that goes on, the tension was there. Um, Scotty always wanted to prove that he could be on an equal footing as Jordan. I always say the same thing all the time. And Jordan came to check out Scotty when he went to Houston elsewhere. Let Scotty have won that in 2000 against when Shaq was at the apex of his career against Phil and then the upstart Kobe and all that 67 win Laker team. Let him go on ahead and beat that team and not blow that 15-point lead in LA and lead Portland over Larry Bird as the head coach of the Pacers and Reggie Miller. Then there's no doubt he's top 5 ever. We don't have that discussion. But he didn't. So for a lot of people, he can be anywhere from 37 to 49 all-time greatest. Because he's not seen as an elite guy. He's not seen as a leader. And he wasn't a big-time scorer. And there are some factors that fall into place. I have to keep it 100. Friendships and business is two different things. Egos and everything involved. You never know with Scotty. Maybe he didn't like the fact that Robin was, they seem to be cool and cordial and everything. They could have been, I'm sure that got squashed for the betterment of the team with Phil Jackson. Scotty's had a lot of resentment in situations. Of course, he pouted in that game against the Knicks in '94 where Kukos hit the game-winning shot because he wanted to be the hero. He always wanted to be kind of seen as the hero, and he came up big, but he had his role. Jordan always acknowledged him that he doesn't win without him. So I don't know what else you want. You go on a tour, you go on a crusade to badmouth to try to sell some books. It wasn't Jordan's fault that you got underpaid, that you got a broke deal, and that you weren't as good as him as a player. You may have been more cooler for people to deal with. But see, that's the difference between the superstars and the stars. Cats on a different level tend to be cold as ice, tend to have their head and they're isolated, and that's the kind of compartment what they are. But we'll never know what could have been because you chose to stay with Chicago. You did not leave. Had you walked out the Bulls, we may have a different ball game. But we'll never know what it could have been. It's a shame that the relationship deteriorated and it's played out for all to see. So, but hearing that they haven't talked in years and stuff is not a surprise. And when I watched the Bull that documentary on the Bulls, The Last Dance, you know that Scotty couldn't have felt good about that because Jordan made it about him because that's his ego and that's his arrogance. And that is part of who he was. He held nothing back about how competitive he is and was. Ain't no warm, cuddly. But there's other stories to involve because Scotty has made it worse, though, by poking the bear with it. And it's just been embarrassing as it's played out. And it's a shame that two guys who accomplished what they did, that it went like that because it should not come to that. But unfortunately, that's one of the sad realities as teammates and as black men that they did. And that is played out for a lot of people to see. So people are going to think what they want. But I think, in all honesty, Scottie should have pretty much done that in private. A lot of this stuff then went embarrassed. And I'm going to talk about another friendship with Jordan. He's a hard dude to kind of be cool with, but I think because it's about how he handles certain things with certain people. But anyway, let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.